I just went AFK at this creeper XP farm for 1 hour and came back to almost 9 stacks of gunpowder along with almost 30 levels. If that's not proof enough that you need to build this farm, I don't know what is. Let's get into it for Minecraft Bedrock 1.21. Ideally, you want to build this farm over top of water. This is so the mobs on the ground don't slow down the rate to the farm, but you can still build it over top of land. It doesn't really matter that much. As well, you want to make sure you're not near any big mountains because mobs might spawn on the mountains and slow down the rates of your farm. But the first thing you want to do is go 100 blocks into the air. So for me, I'm at Y level 63, so I want to go up to around 163. Doesn't have to be perfect, just about 100 blocks. So as you can see, I'm at Y level 163, and now to get up and down from here, if you have an elytra that would work, you can make a bubble elevator, but the easiest way to do it is just to take some ladders, and since I'm over top of water, I can hold down, fall all the way, and ladders will be placed so I can easily get up and down from the farm. Now coming back up to the top of your farm, on the opposite side of the ladder, place 1 block there, with 2 chests coming off of that block, and then go ahead and put 4 hoppers leading into those chests, and then make a ring of any solid block of your choice, whatever you want, around these hoppers and chests that we've just made. And now we're going to make a trident killer to automatically kill the creepers and collect the XP. So start off by placing a piston on that chest, turn and place a piston, turn and place a piston, turn and place a piston, so it looks like that. Now you want to take an observer and place it like this so the arrow is facing into the piston, and you want to do that again for all 4 of the spots. So there, 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 and there. And now the final thing is take a redstone torch and place it on the side of the piston, and every time you do it, you should see that a different piston extends out, and then once you place all 4, it should be going in a continuous loop like this. Now take a lever, place it on the piston, and turn it off, and this is how you turn the farm, or at least the trident killer part of it, on and off. Now grab your trident, throw it onto one of the pistons, and the trident killer's done. You can turn the trident killer off for now. Place 8 blocks on top of these, making a ring, and then continue this up 9 more blocks for a total of 10 high. 9, 10, there we go. So now we have a chamber where the creepers are going to fall down. Come back down to where your chest is, break this block, and place a slab so we can stand here without the creepers seeing us, but we can still collect the XP through this gap. Now coming back up to the top of the chamber, on any one of the 4 sides, you want to build out 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do that for all 4 sides. There we go. And now once you have 7 blocks coming out from all 4 of the sides, you want to connect all the edges and make one massive platform, leaving the 2x2 hole in the middle. Now that we've got this massive platform up at the top here with the 2x2 hole in the middle, go to any one of the sides, go out 1 block, up 1 block, and then make a 1 high wall surrounding this platform. And once you have that, go to any one of the 4 corners, build out 2 blocks like that, and then on the other side, out 2 blocks. Do that for all 4 of the corners, and then again, fill in this layer. Now I hope that part wasn't confusing, but once you finish it, it should look like this. Now one more time, you want to go out 1 block, up 1 block, and then again, make a 1 high wall around this platform. Now on top of this outer layer of blocks that we just placed, you want to take 1 stair and place it on every single block. And there we go. Now that we've got all the stairs placed going around, go ahead and make yourself an infinite water source on the side. Trust me, you're definitely going to want an infinite water source for this next part, because what we now have to do is take 1 bucket of water and place it inside of every single one of these stairs. And if you do it correctly, you should see that the water flows perfectly towards this middle, but it does not flow in. It stops right on this block. Once you finish doing that, you can of course break your infinite water source. And so once it's all done, you should see that the water flows perfectly towards the middle like I mentioned, but it doesn't flow over. Now I feel like this is a great time to mention, if your dimensions are wrong, if the water's flowing over, if it's not making it far enough, if the creepers aren't spawning, anything like that, if you're having issues, you can download this exact world. It is the first link in the description. You can make sure the farm works before you build it, anything like that, definitely go ahead and check that out. But there we go, we're done this part. It's now time to move on to the first layer of the farm. To get started with the first layer, come to any of the corners and go to this block right here and build up 4. You can then break the bottom 3. And now what you want to do is in either one of these directions, count out 20 blocks. Or if you're too lazy to count out 20, it should take you to 1 block beside where we just placed. So we just placed it down here. So 20 blocks should take you to right here. 19, 20. And as we can see, perfect. It took us exactly to that spot. And we should do the same thing in this direction. 18, 19, 20, and there we go. It took us to the exact same spot. And now we can just go ahead and do the same thing this way and then connect the edges. Now this one might take you to a slightly different spot, but at this point it doesn't really matter. We've got our platform inside of the area. Now that we've got this floating square here, go to any one of the sides, go over 1 block and then place a block, skip a block, and do this all the way down, and you should have a perfect gap at the end. And then you want to make these rows continuing all the way to the other side. And there we go. Now that we've got this, you want to do the exact same thing, but in this direction. Once you finish doing that, you should have all of these 1 block gaps where the creepers are going to fall down. Now this next part takes a lot of time and a lot of resources, but as you guys saw in the intro and the title, this farm is absolutely insane, so make sure you stick around for this one. Go to any one of the sides, build up 3 blocks, break the bottom 2, and then copy this exact same thing that we did here up here. Now if you only want 1 layer, you can make a solid platform, but I recommend doing more than 1 layer because obviously every other layer that you have makes the farm more efficient. There you go. As you can see, I've got this exact same thing up here that I did down here, and it's also 2 blocks high. As well, if you look straight down, you can see that the holes are lined up. This is very important. Now you have to decide how many layers for the farm you want. I like to do between 7 and 8 layers, although you can keep it here. You can do 1, you can do 10, however many you want. All right, there we go. I have 7 layers now. That's what I decided to end up doing. And again, like I mentioned, you can look straight down these holes and see the water down below. Now that you've got the amount of layers that you want, it's time to start spawn proofing to make sure that only creepers spawn inside of this farm. Now, if you're not aware, 1.21 changed it so spiders spawn inside of this farm. Luckily for you guys, I and a couple of my commenters have helped me to find a fix for this farm, so now it works even more efficiently in 1.21. Now, the first step is making sure that the creepers actually walk through these holes, and to do that, you need to take a trapdoor, place it, and open it up so the creepers think this is a full block and they end up walking through and falling down into our killing chamber. So place 1 trapdoor inside of every single one of the holes. Once you've got 1 trapdoor placed in every single one of the holes, one of the first changes we have to make from the 1.20 to 1.21 version is placing trapdoors here instead of the old way of placing buttons. So along this row, not in front of the hole, but along this row, you want to place 1 trapdoor on every single block. Now that all the trapdoors are placed, go to every block where there's not a trapdoor, look up and place a button. So skip a block, place a button, skip a block, place a button. This is different from 1.20 where these were actually trapdoors. Now it has to be buttons, otherwise the creepers pathfinding doesn't work, and so they just stand here. If these are buttons, they can walk around and they do end up falling inside of the hole. So this is the second change that we've made inside of 1.21. Now, one more important thing when doing this, do not just skip to here. It is very, very important that you go to this level first. So you're going to have almost this crisscross pattern of buttons going over the entire roof. There you go. Now your button should be looking like this. Again, very important that you don't miss any of these. And our first layer is complete. Now you want to copy these steps for every single layer that you've built. There we go. I've copied the exact same thing on every single layer. As you can see, I have no trapdoors missed. There's a trapdoor in every single one of the holes, every single one of these spots, and there's buttons on all of the roofs. This farm now works during nighttime, but if you want it to work during daytime as well, aka giving it twice as good rates, make sure you watch the next part of this video. So go to any one of the 4 corners, shift and place a block on top of the trapdoor with the second block, and then you can break that one there. And then go out 12 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the same thing this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do that for all 4 corners and then make one massive roof over top. All right, I now have this massive roof over top of our structure, and you can see that all of this is dark. Now, creepers aren't spawning for me right now because I'm on peaceful, but if you're not on peaceful, they will start to spawn. And the final thing that you need to do for this farm is, again, on this top layer, place some buttons like we did down here. And one more thing really quick that I forgot to mention, up here on the roof, make sure that you place down torches. Place down a ton of torches, as many as you can. Make sure this whole area is lit up, otherwise mobs are going to spawn up here and slow down the rates of your farm. So once you're done, the roof should look something like this. The final thing you want to do is make sure you're in easy, normal, or hard mode, and the entire Creeper XP farm is completed. Now, to find your AFK spot, it can be a little bit complicated, and it's different for every single person. As you can see, I'm standing right here, and we did just see that creeper spawn, but it changes for everybody. Maybe you need to be close, maybe you need to be far away, but the place that I AFK at when I'm using this farm, as you saw in the intro, is right here. The slab is here, so the creepers won't blow up. I'll collect the XP. All of the creepers are going to fall down, and all I have to do is flick this lever, and this trident killer is going to automatically kill them. Now, one more cool thing you can do is grab yourself a looting 3 sword like I have here and hold this out. I don't even have to kill them, but since I threw down the trident, the effects are going to be applied. You can see that I'm collecting the XP, and the gunpowder is going inside of this chest. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. As well, you could download this world. It's the first link in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. BlazedMC out.